The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
There we go. Hey, everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight and allowing us to be a voice in your notary journey. My name is Beth Hathoot, and this is Notary Stars, also known as MGM, Monday General Mentorship. We're back like a tune you can't get out of your head, persistent and memorable. Whether you're a seasoned notary or just starting out, get ready for an awesome hour. If you are a member of the training website for Notary Stars, be sure to keep your eye on the calendar of live events, guys. We've got a lot of different things happening this year, and that calendar lineup switches all the time. But for this week, here's a little glimpse of what your classes look like. So if you're here tonight on MGM for the first time, just know that we're here every Monday, except for holidays. And all of the team is here for you. Tuesday, NEAT classes with Kirsten. NEAT stands for Notary Education. Wait a minute. What's it stand for? Notary Education and Training. Yeah, there we go. Kirsten's our notary liaison for novice notaries and for veterans who just want to polish up a bit. Her next class is February 25th, and she's going to be talking about notary fees and understanding your state notary regulations. Wednesday is sauce. It's like Grandma says, Sunday gravy, Wednesday sauce. SAUCE stands for Signing Agent Ultimate Continuing Education, and that's my class. That's where we go over loan files. So the file that we're looking at this week is a seller file. It's a 1031 exchange file. So what you need to do to prepare for that is go to Module 2 in your training tab for NSAs, and just look for the Kapow sticker under Module 2 for that 1031 exchange file. So you're going to look at that video, watch that video, download that worksheet, and bring it to class with you on Wednesday, the 26th. Manuel, I don't know if he's here yet this evening. Manuel Puga is our Spanish-speaking instructor. He is ever present in the classes. He attends as many as he can get to. And he's there to assist the Spanish-speaking students with the correct translation of any of the legal terms in the loan documents. Thursdays, February 27th this week, marketing with Ronnie. He totally dominates Thursdays. He's got two classes on Thursday. One is direct business marketing, and then the other is digital marketing. So you want to be sure to tune into his classes on Thursdays. And then this coming Friday, the 28th, that's usually when our Ron classes take place, is on Fridays, but it's every other Friday. So this is the off week for Amy Seitz from Cyberize It, our wonderful Ron instructor. She's off this week. She'll be back next week. And members of our training courses, please get ready for another free marketing tip coming your way this week in the newsletter. This mentorship is truly all about your nationwide notary community. So if you could do just a couple of things for us, update your Zoom label with your state abbreviation behind your name. That just gives other notaries in your same area an opportunity to network with you. If they knew that you were just right around the corner from them, they'd be knocking on your door already. The other thing is show your face. Please turn on your cameras. It's so much easier for us when we can see your faces to do this type of session. And get involved. So don't be shy. Ask your questions, raise your virtual hand to ask or participate in any of the discussions. And don't forget, we have a jot form that's always available to you to pre-ask your questions as they come to mind during the week. So I'm sure we're going to close out tonight's session and you're going to say, darn it, I didn't get to ask my question. Pop over to that jot form and plug your question in there. We'll try to get to it next Monday for you. Mr. Ronnie, I think we're probably ready to get this party started.
Awesome. I just want to remind everybody tonight is kind of I guess like a case in point for everything. We try to send out an email to remind you guys when we're going live. There is a little issue with the email going out. Some of you might have got it twice from Unlimited Ink. Some of you might not have gotten it yet for Notary Stars. So just make sure that you put this on your calendar as a weekly optional event. If you want to come, it's the same link every week. Kirsten, you can post a link in there so that way you guys can easily access it if you want to come back. Miss Beth, I don't have anything right away to announce. I just want to know, do you want to go into questions or do we want to just have Gabriel come in for a few minutes and get started? How would you like to get the night started off?
Oh, yeah. If Gabriel is here, let's start with Gabe.
All right, I'm gonna pin up Gabriel. Guys, I just want to tell you a little introduction about Gabriel. If you've been here before, you've seen him, but I want to make sure that everybody is aware. There is a new stream of revenue that you can make as a notary in this industry, and that is document translations or certified document translations. You don't need the skill. You just need to be able to know how to market these translations. For those of you that are apostille agents, it goes hand in hand with being able to be an apostille agent. In fact, I just opened it up for Apostille for Unlimited Ink recently, and we are now just rocking and rolling with apostilles and document translations. I definitely teach it in my marketing class. Gabriel stops in once a month to just kind of remind us what's going on in that sector. You can sign up for it as an affiliate, but in the marketing course, we teach you how to mark it up, get money from the affiliate, and sell the service. It's a wonderful program that they run over at the idiomatic side because they're just like Notary Stars over there. They're dedicated to excellence in their sector, and they love working with Notary Stars because we have that dedication to our excellence on our side. So without further ado, Gabriel, I'm going to make you a co-host so that you can unmute and bring you up to the front here. Let's see. You should be able to unmute whenever you're ready.
Perfect. And as always, thanks for having me on. So as Ronnie, not to take up too much time, as Ronnie's been saying, that we're really starting to get some momentum here with the affiliate program on Ronnie's side individually, and actually a lot of names and a lot of faces I recognize from tonight's webinar. Many of you are affiliates, or we've spoken in one way or another. And as I always try to explain our affiliate program, we are a certified translation company, and we offer translations in certified translations in over 150 different languages. And translations pair up very nicely with the document legalization industry, either as an accompaniment to the service. So if you do notarizations, especially if you do apostilles, more often than not, if they're submitted to a foreign country, they have the original document has to be translated into the language of the target country. So you have translations that fit in very well with your services that you already offer. So essentially becoming a one-stop shop, as opposed to someone having to go down the street to get a translation, bring you that document, get it notarized, then get it apostilled. Your client can do it all in one spot, which brings added value, makes things easier for them. It's added value to your business, and it differentiates you in a crowded market. So that's one side. And I also see it as a way of diversifying your business as it is. As notaries and as apostille agents, you already have an online presence. Why not pivot on that and also offer an additional service that, aside from being an accompaniment to what you already do, is a standalone service? translations, for example. I know that a lot of people who do loan signings, um, it's very affected by interest rates. So translations are not. It's not something that has to do with usually with home purchases or anything like that. So that can provide stability in a down market in other things. And again, if you already have an online presence, you can add an additional page or additional section to your website, your Google My Business, your LinkedIn, social media, and promote translations, where that will bring you in income without you having to directly do the work. So again, disconnecting your earnings from your hours worked. And it's something that you can have running 24 hours a day on your website. We handle the back end, you're the storefront, and together we can create that uh, additional revenue stream for everyone. And of course, help your client and have them have a high quality service.
And Gabriel, I just want to remind people when I really got serious about this, I posted it on Instagram, and it's true to this day. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning, and my affiliate link was going off like, you made $1.16, you made $16, you made, and it was in a course of like, I guess 3 hours in the middle of the night that I made $30 with literally while I was sleeping because they were using my affiliate link. Now we found other ways to do this, and during working hours that we can add in where we are kind of marking up the prices and adding things into our website and then putting in the affiliate link. There's a lot of things that you can do with this, and I love that you've been so supportive to the notary community on. I know I've reached out to you like, can we do this? Can we do that? And your team is just, very good about helping guide the process as a lot of the notaries are learning what we can do, what we can't do. I wanted to know, can we do websites? Can we do books? Because the customers start coming. And then the best part about it is that they lead to apostilles as well. And for those of you who do apostilles, just need to point that out. I am going to make one plug. I try not to do too much salesy stuff, but I'm going to drop a link to one of my new websites, a listing site. Tomorrow there's a marketing tip going out about importance of niche marketing. I did build, and you guys know I love to come up in the search rankings. Find a notary apostille agent near you. That's up. We already have close to 100 listings on the site so far. And if you're into apostilles, this will be a great way for you to advertise, but don't skip the step of getting involved with idiomatic first, because when you're offering apostilles, if you need document translations, you are leaving money on the table when you're an apostille agent. So this is just perfect timing for anybody who's just completed the course. I think 3 people this week have said they've either completed John Nelson or Judy Lawrence's training each, letting me know like, hey, I got another certification. And this is just, honestly, if we're going to forge our way into other sectors of the notary industry, this is just beautiful that you came along and started talking to our community, 6 or 7 months ago when we were all still kind of scrambling. What are we going to do? How are we going to make it? What can I add into my notary services? Well, this is something you can add in and out of your notary services. And I'm not kidding you guys, 50% of my document translations turn into apostilles. 50% of them so far. I mean, that statistic could change, but right now, 50% of the document translations that come through have turned into, I need an apostille afterwards. So thank you, Mr. Gabriel, for stopping by. I want to let everybody know before you go, when you become a part of the affiliate program, you actually offer a lot of education for the affiliates. And I honestly think you are probably one of the only affiliate programs that I've been a part of that offers so much education on what you're doing. So thank you for that. And I want to let you guys know that he will not leave you high and dry. It's not just like, here's your affiliate link, go get them, guys. He's actually actively every week providing you information via email on what you can do and how to do it, and what's been learned that week as growing, as an affiliate. So it's probably one of the best affiliate programs I've ever been a part of. And actually, I'm learning from you in that sector. I truly am, because we have an affiliate program. So I'm actually learning from you.
Appreciate that. And just to add to that, we by design are not a massive company. So if you have a question about, we want to keep this personal, and the affiliate community is growing. um, very quickly. But our goal isn't to have 10,000 affiliates. That dilutes it, and that means that I can't have the back and forth with everyone that I do. And those of you who are here, um, I think can say that if you were part of the program, I've probably spoken with you personally, either once, at least once, or multiple times. So if you have a question, if you want to learn about the program, you don't. It's totally free. Feel free to sign up. If you never use it, that's fine. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to walk you through it, and let's see how we can build on your business with that.
Thank you so much for stopping by. And, we'll see you next month when you stop by.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, everybody. Talk
Thank you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Mr. Ronnie, are you ready to start fielding some questions here?
Yes, let's go for it.
All righty, we're going to start with jot form questions that you guys have previously submitted. But listen, you can always raise your hand, ask your question live here tonight, or just share a tip or trick you might have. The first one actually is for you, Mr. Ronnie. This came in the first part of January, so I feel an urgency to ask you this. This says, I have a Google business profile and I'm having trouble getting general notary work. I don't think paying for advertising is worthwhile. How do you make sure my profile is the way it should be and get my name out there to get those jobs? I appreciate your help.
Okay, so I don't want to defer the question, but I do answer these, in my marketing course, and I'm there every Thursday. Google My Business. First of all, I have to preface this, and I'm going to make this as quick as possible because we have a lot to go over tonight. Google Business, there's going to be people who try to sell you down the river and say that there's this magical formula and they want to charge you money, and I find that sickening in the notary community. If Google ain't charging you for it, you shouldn't be paying for it because guess what? It's free. It's all about keywords, really, and you want to make sure you go through every tab of setting up your Google My Business. You want to make sure that you've put out all the service areas that you do. You want to make sure that your business name, for instance, I'll use Anissa from right here in Chandler. She's got AMB Mobile Notary and Apostille. You can't throw a rock without seeing her because she's got it in the business name. And if you haven't filed for a business name, you probably should. Because your name alone, which is a way a lot of us get started, self-included, is Ronnie Mickle, Common Notary Public to get it up. But when you have a business name, you can file for a DBA and add in certain services. You need to make sure that you've added all the services that you can provide, like I-9 verification, document translation services, apostille, that you've selected all of those. There's no magical formula. You just need to go through your listing and make sure that's all there. Make sure your service area is expanded. And if you're still having problems, go to my marketing course. I'm there every single Thursday for hours a day where you can pop in and ask questions and I can help you with anything you're having problems with. But for a general mentorship call, that's my best advice for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Ronnie. Oh, the next one's a Ron question. So I'm guessing Miss Amy's going to have to weigh in on this one. This one says, I want to only be an online notary. Do I have to get my traditional notary commission too, or can I just get my Ron commission? Try now.
There we go. Success.
There we go.
All right. So in order to be an online notary, you have to also have your traditional notary commission. So that means you have to be able to do it in person, and then you can get online. Now, you can do both simultaneously in some states. So you can get your traditional and your online hand in hand, but you've got to be doing both at the same time. I know in Ohio, you can submit your traditional application on Monday, and then you can do your Ron as soon as it's approved. So as soon as they say, yes, you're a traditional notary, then you can upload your Ohio Ron aspect, and then you'll get your Ron commission. But in Illinois, they'll do both at the exact same time. You just have to have all of the components at the same time. So you have to do both, basically, in all states.
So you have to know what you're doing first, right?
Oh yeah, you definitely need to know what you're doing. So pay attention to your notary requirements so that when you do get your RON aspects, you can sail without any problems.
Makes sense to me. Thank you, Miss Amy. We do have a hand up in the gallery. This is D. Dean from Virginia. That's almost hard to say. Go ahead and unmute, D, and ask your question.
So I was wondering what everyone's take is on scanners that verify IDs while you're at the table. For instance, just verifying if they're fake or not, besides our eyes. Like I've called a few different companies who I just think it's a good marketing point also for, and I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. A good market point for like title companies and so forth that not, you're visually inspecting it, but you're also like running them through like a scanner. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I will tell you that personally, I recommend if you have the ability to check the authenticity of an ID using a mobile scanner, something that you can put on your phone that reads the barcode on the back of the ID, absolutely 100% of the time you need to go for that. You can't skip the piece where your eyes are looking at it and identifying that person as being the same one that's depicted in the picture, the same one that's in the description on that ID, the same one who might be the same age as depicted on the birth date on that ID. So those are two separate components. You can't skip one for the other, but yeah, I would. Ronnie, what do you think?
Miss Beth, I'm glad that you asked that. I'm all about it. Yeah, if you can make the investment and you can get something like that, but I will tell you, you have to put yourself in the position of someone who wanted to try a court case. And when it says when you go to court, the judge is not going to say, well, first of all, if you have the scanner device, they're going to say, great, you took the scanner device, but your notary journal is going to be important. All of that supporting evidence, it's only going to help you in the long run. But if you haven't done that component of actually looking at that ID,
Right.
that scanner might say this is a great ID. This is an ID. But if you haven't done the notary part, it's just going to get you in more trouble because they're going to say you didn't do your job.
Right. Right.
So if you did your job and you have that component, then it's going to look like you did more due diligence, but it could work to the disadvantage of you if you hadn't done it. So that's actually a really great question for everybody to kind of have in the back of their mind if they made an investment like that. Because I'm assuming that something like this would be a financial investment.
Yeah, they're the fees, like the minimum fee that I found with calling several people, and most of these people, I guess, are like people that work at bars and checking IDs in that aspect. But it's like the cheapest one I found was like $900, and then
No,
like $99 a month.
there are cheaper ones out there and they run right on your phone. In fact, even Jurat Inc., the electronic journal, has the ability to read that barcode on the back of those IDs. And you're using that information just to make sure that the barcode or the magnetic tape on the back of the ID has the same information as what's on the front, right? That's what you're looking for. So
Yeah.
all you need is an app that can read that. And there's several out there. We did a blog article on how to spot a fake ID here, mid last year. And there's a couple of samples in there that for Android and iPhone that you can download and test out for minimal fees.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
You betcha.
I'm throwing in a recommendation in the chat also. It is free and you get 500 sessions a month. And not only can you scan the ID, you can do a biometric verification of the signer too.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Next question. Jot form. It looks like this one probably is for me. This says, I received a work inquiry from a company, Spinnaker Resorts, that wants to schedule me to notarize a few documents for them. I know how to do loan signings, but amongst the paperwork they want me to notarize is a quitclaim deed. I've never done quitclaim deeds before, but I heard they're amongst the work that has a lot of fraud around it. True, not true? Yeah. especially when people using out-of-state IDs. I'm based in Ohio. I was wondering if you can give me some quick advice on how to approach the situation, and can you do an example of a quick claim deed? Well, unfortunately, I can't give you a quick claim deed example tonight, but if you're a member of the Notary Stars Training Network, we have that in almost every loan package that we go through. We're going to have at least 1 out of 5 loan packages that's going to have a quick claim deed in it, just so you can see what they look like and what they're used for. But what you need to know, and there's other videos on there that talk about the different types of deeds. There's 2 in particular in module 1. If you're a part of the training membership on module 1 of the NSA training tab, there's 2 videos in there. One is all about deeds, and the second one is even more about deeds. But basically what you need to know about deeds is there are only 2 types. Lots of different names for those 2 types, but basically only 2 types. One is a security deed. That's the one we see where the lender secures their interest in the property. That's the security document that gives the lender the right to enforce the promissory note. The one that you're concerned about is a conveyance deed. And there's many different types of conveyance deeds: warranty deeds, surety deeds, quitclaim deeds. Quitclaim deeds in themselves are used mainly for corrections on documents or to transfer ownership where there's no money involved. Sometimes that might be between divorcing couples, right? Or transferring it from grandma to grandson, or an estate to grandson, where there's just title transfer. So yes, those can be involved in a lot of fraud cases, but it's because they're transferring property, and that could be literally any kind of deed. So you just have to kind of be careful when you're working in a situation. Just sharpen your senses and just make sure that for your part, everything's on the up and up. You've ID'd the clients properly. They know what they're signing. You've completed the paperwork correctly. That's about all you can do. Oh, next up on the list. Again, back to Mr. Ronnie. Can you please give me 5 marketing tips for my notary business?
Can I give 5 marketing tips for your notary business? I absolutely could. However, I'm not going to give 5 because we don't want to be rude, and my marketing tips can take a long time to unroll. Anybody in my marketing class knows that I leave no stone unturned. By the way, anybody who wants to use that title, No Stone Unturned, it's going to be my title. I've recorded it tonight. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow. You better write the book and publish it. That is my approach to marketing, is no stone unturned. Earlier, we had a question saying, I don't believe in paying for marketing in some sense and that sort of thing. My first advice to you, whether it be my class or someone else's class who focuses on marketing for the notary industry, I know that I focus on direct business and I focus on building a web presence that no one else can penetrate. Giving you 5 tips would take 10 hours in order to give it. My first tip to you would be, if you have no marketing skills whatsoever, and I don't mean that you took marketing back in 1987, because marketing in 1987 is much different than marketing in 2024. So my best advice for you would be, get into someone that's actively in this industry, that, and I have to say it this way because a lot of people teach marketing, and I'm not being cocky or anything. I own a multi-million-dollar signing service. I do business all over the world, or all over the world now, literally. I used to could only say the nation, but now with Ron, the world. I market with embassies overseas, bringing in Ron business. Whether you want to go local or national, you need to get someone that can understand what you're trying to market, and you need to interview them. What can you do for me? What can you show me? If you were to interview me, I can show you tons of notary students' websites that are marketing and where they're coming up all over the country, because I'm managing them. Find somebody that you resonate with and then say, what can you do for me? Show me what you can do. Show me some results. Because if they can't show you results, you shouldn't be paying them money to help you. Okay, so that's my first tip, is to find a good trainer and ask for results before you spend your dollars with them.
Perfect. Thank you. That's pretty good advice. One thing in here, Loretta P posted she wants to connect with a notary or a group of notaries or communities in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So Loretta, keep your eye on the chat. I just put it out there. Guys, if you're near Nashville, put your info in the chat so Loretta can contact you and you guys can start your own little networking group.
Yes, and we do have quite a few. The Facebook group is a place where that can be posted, Miss Beth. We do have quite a few. I can name Jamie, off the bat, Jamie Falcon.
In Nashville?
Falcon, yeah, I'm trying to make sure I say it right. There's Biscuit Notary Services. I know in Tennessee, we work with both of them quite often at Unlimited Ink. There are also Notary Stars or former Notary Stars members. The great notaries that you could network with. So there's a lot of Tennessee notaries.
Perfect. Good deal. We do have a hand up for you. Affy, did you have a question? You want to unmute and ask?
Yes, please. You probably will get to this, but in our Wednesday class, somebody had a question about liability insurance, and you said to pose it in today's session. So I just wanted to be sure that we talked about it.
Okay. POV, starting here. Point of view, every business owner should have general liability insurance. We've got E&O that covers our notarial errors. We don't think of general liability unless we have a storefront. You know, you think if somebody comes into your Quick Trip store and trips and slips and falls on a wet floor, you have to have that general liability to cover you, the business owner, for that person's injuries. But it works the other way too. We may not have a brick and mortar. Many of us don't, but we're going to people's homes. We're parking in front of their house. We're walking up and into their home. We're sitting at their tables for sometimes 2 hours at a time. Who knows what could happen? You could throw your bag over your shoulder and knock over a priceless Ming vase. How are you going to pay for that? General liability insurance would cover that. Injuries to their dog. You stand up and you step on their tiny little 2-pound chihuahua. That would be horrible, devastating, but general liability would cover that. You're pulling up to the house and you run over the mailbox and completely flatten it. General liability would pay for that. So it's something to think about.
Yes, Miss Beth, and I want to tell you, I will tell you that, especially for those of you that want to go direct, when that is a selling point when you're explaining to your clients. For those, if you don't know, there's still companies out there that say, why would I want a mobile notary? It is a professional, it's a write-off just for having it because it just makes sense to have it. But when you're explaining to your clients that you have general liability insurance, they feel more comfortable sending you to someone else's home. When you're trying to convince someone to, allow you, do you want to be the person who says, I'm just doing this as a side hustle. I don't want to, have the general liability insurance. You might skate by, but when you're a professional, like it looks professional when you can say, I am insured, not just errors and omissions insurance, but I am insured. Your clients are safe in my hands. So I love this question because I think sometimes we think, we call ourselves notary business owners, but then sometimes a lot of us will take the business part off of it. When it comes to spending a dollar, you have to be insured when you're a business owner. And the more insurance, last thing is I used to own an Airbnb company. We had 500 rentals. And I used to say for every time somebody tried to sue me, if I had a nickel, I would be a, multimillionaire. And there would be people saying the refrigerator was leaking. And I slipped and fell. And I would say, and then they would say, oh, well, I'm going to sue you. And I'd say, great, that's why I'm insured. I have liability insurance for you being in this house. And then never once did anybody ever sue me, because when they realize that they have to work with an insurance company, they're going to have to work with an insurance company's lawyers, and they know they're not going to get paid. So that's another thing, is you have this protection of that insurance company comes with a team of lawyers that are going to keep someone from suing you. And that's why I stay insured, because I don't have to go out and hire a lawyer because my insurance company is going to take care of it.
Yeah, there's a couple of comments in the chat as well. Brenda says her insurance agent says if a client trips and falls over her bag, she's covered with her liability insurance. Amy says that she heard of someone who laid their cell phone down on an antique kitchen table and it scarred the table. Liability would have paid for that as well. So there's a lot of reasons to have general liability, guys. And for the most part, for our type of business, it's not that expensive. I think I've got $1 million and it's less than $500 a year. So.
Ms. Beth, I just want to remind everybody, we're going to try to rapid fire tonight to kind of get all of the job form done, because next week, Ms. Beth, let's tell them what we have while we're at peak viewers. What do we have next week?
Next week coming in, we have a special guest, two special guests, Notary Gadget and Sandra, the paperwork lady, or Samantha, or the paperwork lady, are coming in to be our special guests right here on MGM. And they're pretty much going to take the whole hour. So we may not have time to answer your questions next week. We want to make sure we get them all in tonight. Not a registered event either. It's just regular login, guys. We have another question that we want to come up and get answered really quick. This is a Manuel Puga question. Yay, Manuel. It says, I'm a California notary and performed a cash deal signing last week. There were not any documents that required notarization. When I arrived at the signing location, I learned that the signers did not speak English, nor did we speak the same language. The signers used their cell phone app to be able to communicate with me. I called my hiring company to address my concerns, but could not speak with anyone. So I made an executive decision and proceeded with the signing. Given that there were no documents that required notarization, was I wrong in proceeding with it? Or even worse, did I break any California laws? Mr. Manuel?
Hi, everyone. So this is a California specific, right? So we California California notaries were not allowed to use any interpreter app, right? So we need to have direct communications. Even though, so think of it this way, right? Even though there were no notarizations, right? One notary might think, I'm not breaking any law because there are no documents to notarize. But think about it. Really, I mean, you need to have communication, right? And say, you use an app where you can are basically communicating. One, we're not allowed. Two, how do you know if what you're saying in your language is really translating exactly what you want to say to the signer, right? Ultimately, we are still responsible because our hiring company are relying on us to make sure that we're identifying the signer, and two, that we are conducting business the way our state law says. So I don't recommend any notary especially in California, to use any, and not even a third party or any app, to have direct communication with the client.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Manuel.
Ms. Beth, there was a private chat that came to me, and I won't say their name because it was private, but I sent them back a message, and I want to make sure that everybody hears this. They had asked which one of our team members helps with filing taxes for our notary business, and I just want to make sure everybody understands we don't facilitate filing taxes. We are not tax professionals. However, we do bring in tax professionals. Kirsten, if you could look up those and post them. Oh, she already did it. Look how good our team is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she saw that or just grabbed it, but we partner with professionals, and our professionals coming back next week on MGM as well. But I wanted to make sure people know that we separate ourselves from taxes because we don't want to be responsible. We already know so much about the notary industry and we have a great team for that. But when it comes to tax professionals, it's a whole nother industry. We want to bring you the best of the best. And those people are not, although they work in the notary industry, their minds are really on your taxes. So we bring in the people who really have your best interest at heart. Not that we don't, but when it comes to taxes, that's a lot of liability. So we only bring in professionals who do that.
Yes, agreed.
I'm gonna say it the way I gotta say it this way. I'm too pretty to go to jail. I would never survive. So we get somebody who can not big mistakes.
There you go. All righty. This is for Kirsten. Miss Kirsten, quick, short question for you. What should I do to get started as a notary once I'm official? What's the shortcut?
Join Notary Stars and get your education.
That's perfect.
Honestly, I love that a team member would say that. And Kirsten, I'm not saying anything wrong with your answer there. Yes, join Notary Stars, but I want to let you guys know there's Notary to Pro, there's Notary Stars, there's Notary Academy. We are not the be all end all of training, although I will say that we worked very hard to have, very in-depth training. But your resume this day and age should have every logo, because there are people who respect our training. There are people who respect Notary Academy. There's people who respect Laura B. Where there are people who respect Notary to Pro. You want to fill up your resume. And I always say, like, if you're going through an operation, who would you want to operate on you? The person with the most certificates on the wall, or somebody who just graduated community college? And you want to fill it up with as much education as you possibly can.
And things are always changing, so continuing education is a plus and a must.
And that's what we do here. So thank you for, I love that you say Notary Stars, but I want to make sure our team, everybody knows that our team does not believe we're the be all end all, although we are the best.
Mr. Ronnie, we have another hand up in the gallery, Mr. Jabari.
I love when Jabari stops by.
Me too. And he's not stalking his drivers in his car. Oh, try again, Jabari. Uh-oh, where'd he go?
Uh-oh. Did I scare him?
Jabari, put your virtual hand back up again so it brings you to the top of our screen so we can see you. There you go. All right.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, perfect. No, it actually seemed like a perfect time, and I've been wanting to say this, but it just seems like a perfect time after that question. I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys, not just the instructors, but the whole Notary Stars community. Every Monday is like the peak of my week, but more directly, I've been a Notary Star for a few months now, probably I don't know, about 5 or 6 months. When I came here, I had not used my stamp, but only one time. Since then, I've went through all the courses and everything, and I love doing all the courses with Miss Beth and Kirsten and everybody. And, I've actually gotten quite a few 5-star reviews. I actually did a closing today where the signing service came back and really commented on my documents saying how good they were, and said they was going to give me a good review. And I know it's all because of the training that I received here. Don't get me wrong, I did start off with Notary to Pro, as you guys suggested, which was a great foundation for me. But just growing with you guys has made me more comfortable. Working with each one of you every week has been, a great benefit. And now I could see a pathway from my regular 9 to 5 to being a full-time notary. So thank you so much for that.
And Jabari, tell everybody what your regular 9 to 5 is.
I am a fleet manager for Amazon delivery drivers.
Okay, and this is I just want to put some things in perspective for people. Okay, so when you decided to come into the notary industry, did you have any experience with loan documents, anything like that?
So I had a little experience in real estate because I did some investing, some failing investments. And when COVID hit, I lost everything. So I hit rock bottom, and I just been working a 9 to 5 ever since.
Okay. And like many people, like myself, I do not want to work a 9 to 5. I want to own my own business and be paid adequately. You're starting to move from that 9 to 5, but you had some what you said failed experience, which is still experience. But you've now saying, like, hey, I'm getting compliments on my job. I will tell you that was a defining moment for me. And I've admired because you when you came into the community, you've been an active part of the community. Not that everybody has to speak, but you I've seen you dig your heels in and say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna work by 9 to 5. And there's so many people out there that have that 9 to 5 job and then they think I can't do it. And I just want to ask you, because this is a great moment to help other people, especially those who may be transitioning from a day job into, going to be the future notary. How have you found time? Is it hard sometimes to find time to watch videos and train and get that knowledge? What's it like for you?
It is challenging, but I think the word is dedication. Just the way you guys are dedicated to us. It's about us being dedicated to our own careers, our own future. And I think that's what it's about. The mindset saying I'm going to do it, whether instead of I'm going to try this. When you say I'm going to do it, you find a way to do it. And Miss Beth jokes about me being on my stakeouts because I'm literally on the job inspecting my Amazon vans and going back and attending class at the same time. So it's dedication. Yes. Is it challenging? Yes. But if you want it, you'll make it happen.
I love that. I love that. That's probably I'm gonna probably come back and clip that and use it
Yeah.
because it's everything that we stand for. I mean, it's dedication. We say dedication to excellence, but you guys have to. I have so many people who sign up and they think, okay, I'm going to sign up. What will I get from it? And it's really, you. And I always say you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. You can lead a horse to the fountain of youth, but you can't make it jump in. We have a plethora of knowledge, and I love this is not the first time that I've heard with somebody working with someone for the first time and them recognizing that they knew what they were doing. And if you're newer and somebody recognizes, we have a signing service that pulls from the Notary Stars list that literally had used a notary one time, and I have a copy of the email. I'm never getting rid of that. I'm gonna have it buried with me. I have a copy of the email that said, "Wow, where did you learn to be a notary? There are things in here that I was waiting for you to fail at." And they knocked it out of the park because they had trained. I'm not going to say that was Notary Stars training. It was, but I'm not going to say that that was all because it comes down to the individual level. Like you said, you got to commit yourself to it. And I'm very, very proud of you for committing yourself to excellence and a better future and making your way. And I know because I've seen you also running from one thing to the other, getting in here, but I appreciate your dedication to yourself and to this community. Because when you come to Notary Stars, you're being a part of an active, growing, continuing education community. So thank you for that.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the education. Thank you for the platform. It's just been great help. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tried to switch it up for you this year, Jabari, and make it a little more interesting. You still have to put the work in, but we just give you such in-depth information that sometimes it feels like a college lecture. This year, you got to work for it, and you're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Beth. And you're always there for me. That's the other thing that I love so much because you're never too busy to respond. Even when I'm in a clutch situation, you're there, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, guys, we've got.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to interrupt and I'm going to do this because I'm asking you guys to stay a little bit later. Anybody watching, I understand it's going to be a little bit later, but we have to clear this list because we've been going since January, having special guests, and we've got to get it ready for next quarter because we only have one general mentorship. So I'm going to make my team a deal. And Miss Beth knows why I can do this. So if my team can stay an extra 30 minutes tonight past the hour, so we got 9 minutes, Kirsten, Miss Beth, and Amy and Manuel, can I give you all a $150 gift card for staying an extra 30 minutes tonight?
Okay,
I
deal.
think I can do that.
Okay. I will send every single one of you a $150 gift card. And I did this last quarter because we have to make sure we stay on track with these questions for the notaries. For anybody watching, we are recording, but we'd love for you to be here with us. We're not going to take any more raised hands tonight. We're going to go straight to this drop form and get the answers out. I love this entire community, but I do not want to get behind on these questions because we got a lot to do in 2025 and we're only almost one quarter in now. So let's get through these questions, Miss Beth.
We get the bonuses this time. Woo, woo.
I'm not done tonight, so let's just see what happens when people stick around.
Okay, here's the next up question. It looks like this one's for me. It's a little bit on the long side, so stick with me here for a minute. It says, I recently completed a refinance that included trust verbiage in the signature lines. The title company requested the trust verbiage be added in the notary block as well. However, the line for inserting the signer's name and the trust verbiage was about 1/4 inch long. In previous trainings with other signing companies, I was instructed to simply write the named above. After uploading my scans to the file, I was informed the entire trust verbiage needs to be included in the notary block along with the signer's name. I received guidance on how to correct and was able to rescan. While watching the training videos from Notary Stars, I didn't find an example of this issue demonstrated. Please provide an example demonstrating with more clarity on what and how to correctly write the signer's name in the notary block when you're not given the needed space to write the signer's names or additional information. I can sum this up in one word. Attach. Don't even mess with it. Pull out your certificate for your state, complete it with the information that they want to see in that certificate, providing you can do capacity. You're not in California, right? And just attach your certificate. That's an easy question to answer. Don't even twist your brain around it. Just attach. Ron question. Miss Amy, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry. I had to get a refill because we're staying 30 more minutes.
Oh, this is probably an easy one for you too. This is, what should the timing be between Ron appointments? That's got to be difficult to decide sometimes, but.
So typically, if you're doing general notary work, if your signers are tech savvy enough to validate and you're ready to go as 1 or 2 stamps, I say probably 20 minutes, give yourself, give or take, in between appointments. If you're doing like a seller's package, cash buyout, I would definitely plan on 30 minutes of an overlap, so that way you don't get double booked. But it's okay for your second appointment to start validating while you're finishing with your first appointment. So you can have them going back to back, but you got to tell that second appointment, I'm going to be 5 more minutes, so bear with me, I'll join in momentarily. If you're doing like a buyer's package, it's like 150 pages, you definitely want to make sure you've got extra time, because there's going to be a lot of pages that they're going to have to sign and initial that doesn't have anything to do with the notarization itself. So I would probably plan on about 45 minutes of a layer in there. But again, it's going to be customized. I've seen a 1 signer refi and they got it done in 20 minutes. I did 5 seller sides in 30 minutes total. That's validating, doing all of the sessions and getting it done. But I've also seen a session where it had 17 sellers in the 1 session, and that session took 90 minutes. It's going to be customized based upon each individual aspect, and you'll get the hang of it once you start doing it. So in the early stages, add extra time and then start whittling it down as you get more comfortable.
Definitely going to be an experience factor in there for sure. I don't think I could do the simultaneously doing qualifying, identifying, and doing somebody else's actual online. And no, I can't. Nah, that'd be a while for me to coordinate that. But thank you so much. We call that the river between appointments. How wide of a river do you need? Right? As wide as I can get. All right, here's one from Mr. Ronnie, if he's with us. I think he is.
I think he's on a call right now.
He could be. We can skip over and, well, darn, here's another one for me. If a loan package doesn't have state and county lines and I receive a call from the signing company to correct this, does it affect my quality score? In a nutshell, probably. It's going to depend on the signing service, but literally what you're telling me is the state and county was missing from the certificate, and it was probably a jurat. It was probably way at the top of that page, or page 1, however many pages it was. But that's a common issue with jurats. They don't have a venue on them, Sheree. So when you come up against your certificate and you are doing a loan signing, always print in your state and county for your venue. Always do that, okay? That way you won't have them coming back and saying you forgot something that you should have known to do. There's another piece to that explanation. We just don't have time to go into it 100% here, but literally if you're doing a loan package, always add the venue on those jurats, because it will be jurats where that is missing. Hope that helps. Another one from Mr. Ronnie. He's on the phone.
I'm here.
There you go. We got 2 for you back to back. So here's the first one. I received a lot of spam calls from Google. You know, the ones that look like your Google page is not verified. There's a solution for this, I'm sure. I've tried blocking the numbers and still nothing seems to help. I would truly appreciate any and all advice.
Well, nobody has that problem more than me because let's face it, guys, when we put our information out on the internet, you're going to get spam calls because it's people just preying on your business. I actually invested in Verizon's. I tried RoboKiller. It did not work. Sorry, RoboKiller. Clip it, send it to them. It didn't. It was a terrible product. I paid money for every month. I invested in Verizon's, my cell phone, which is what's just tied to my Google My Business. I invested in Verizon's spam filter, and it really worked. In fact, I maybe get 2% of 100% of the calls that I used to get. So if your cell phone carrier offers a spam blocker, invest in it. It's $5 a month at Verizon or something like that, like $7, something like that. It's worth every penny. I would not invest in RoboKiller. It did not stop any calls.
Okay. So the next question has to do with something that we may or may not be able to answer. This one says, I was considering doing a trial basis with Jurat Inc., the digital Jurat or digital journal on iPad, also the digital version of Thumbprint. What are the pros and cons for both?
So I personally can't answer that. And I know that we don't, I think the Thumbprint is part of Jurat Inc., if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Mm-hmm.
We've done presentations where they've come in, and if you just Google Notary Stars Jurat Inc., you'll be able to find the video of the presentation. It is a public video on our YouTube channel. You can go and search our YouTube channel, or you can just Google Notary Stars Jurat Inc., and you'll be able to see the presentation. I haven't been out in the field in quite some time because Unlimited Ink is at its hopefully midpoint of success, but it's disabled me from being able to go out in the field anymore. So I don't use that product. If there's anybody that's here tonight that uses it, please feel free to drop it in the chat. But you're right, Miss Beth, unless you have experience, which I know you're at your desk just like me. Kirsten is at the desk. If anybody has any information, please drop it in the chat. But if not, Kirsten just dropped the video of the presentation. Other than that, that's the best that we can do to answer that question.
We are actually starting questions that are February submissions. Woohoo!
Let's get it done. We've got 29 minutes.
We're rolling. Okay. This is from Sarah. Says, I was asked to do reverse mortgage signing, and when I was speaking with the signer on the phone, she let me know that her driver's license and passport both expired last year on her birthday, and she does not have any other current acceptable ID. In Washington state, I can accept an expired ID as long as it's not been expired more than 3 years. I let her know that the lender or title company may not be okay with it though. And guys, if you do loan signings, you should be aware that a lot of lenders do not want us to use expired identification documents, even if we're allowed to do so as a notary. So you need to be aware of that for the lender. When I talked to the title company, they let me know that both lender and title will include a credible witness affidavit in the respective packets for me to complete. My question is it legal for me to notarize a credible witness affidavit, even though the credible witness in this case does not meet Washington standards? Okay, so I'm not relying on the credible witness for identifying her. But after last week's training, I want to be certain that legally I can notarize the affidavits. I have not been sent the documents yet. I think she might be confused as to what a credible witness affidavit is. And credible witnesses, she's saying, don't meet Washington standards. Well, it does. The state of Washington allows credible witness to be used to identify a signer. Okay, so she's fine there. The lender doesn't want her to use an expired ID. So the only other option would be the credible witness affidavit. The reason that lenders want that affidavit in the file, and guys, even though your state might not outline a credible witness affidavit as a document that you can notarize, it's just a jurat with an affiant statement. That's all it is. Some states actually format what they want to see in a credible witness affidavit. A handful of them do. The rest of them don't. All it is a jurat with an affiant statement. So as long as it says, I so-and-so do hereby swear and affirm that B. Booker is actually B. Booker. I know her, blah, 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 whatever that terminology is, right? You can notarize it. It's just like any other jurat. So as long as you can identify that credible witness and you can use expired ID on that credible witness, right? They're not signing the loan documents. As long as you can ID that credible witness and they are willing to sign an affidavit, you're fine. That's all you need to do. Oh, let's see.
Miss Beth, can I bring up one other thing that happened at Unlimited Ink today that I think goes along the same vein for that real quick?
Sure.
I want to bring this up another time. So we had a notary today, and she's a Notary Star member. Travis had the conversation with the notary. So when it comes to identification, if someone's is using a passport and they don't have the right stamp or your state, you're not allowed to ask, are you legal in the country as a notary? That is not your responsibility. Although our handbook may say they have to have legal entry, you cannot ask another member of their family or them how did they get in the country or if they're legal. That could come back and bite you in a way. And Travis, I hope, delivered that with love. But I want to make sure that all notaries know that you cannot ask that question, are you legal in this country? Because that could actually wind up being a lawsuit for you when it comes to asking that question. We have to be very careful with as notaries, the line that we walk. Our handbook, unfortunately, stops at a certain point and says, you know, this is what we can accept or not accept. So if you run into a situation, for instance, in Arizona, we can't take a passport, and Miss Beth, you can help me with this, and this is sad, but I'm in Arizona. We can't take a passport unless there's like a visa stamp in there, correct? That says that they
foreign passport,
unless they've entered legally into the country. They have to have the accompanying visa with it and that sort of thing. And if that's not there, you can't ask that question did you enter legally into the country? And we want to make sure that all notaries know that. That just happened today at Unlimited Inc. Travis was, had let me know, like, and I think this goes right along the lines when we're dealing with IDs, credible witnesses, all of those things. If you run into a situation where someone's a foreign resident or they might have entered the country what you could perceive as illegally, they might have been here legally. We don't know, because they might not have needed a visa at the time to enter the country, then overstayed or what have you and gotten married. We don't know. My previous marriage, we intentionally overstayed, and out of the advice of an attorney, in order to get our marriage going. So there's a lot of things that we may not be aware of, and we don't want to cross any lines. So if they don't have that visa that we're looking for, or that stamp that we're looking for, we should immediately go to how can we ID them. And I believe that this signing was taking place in Florida, which does allow credible witnesses. I think they have to have two, correct? Is that correct, Miss Beth?
As long as it's not on Ron.
Yeah. So if they are signing in Florida, if they don't have an acceptable ID, physical ID, the next step, I think, in customer service would be, well, to report it to the hiring party and then turn around and say, but I can do this in my state. I can offer a credible witness in my state. I can do two credible witnesses. And knowing your options, because you're helping the signer as a customer, we don't want to turn it around with them and be like, you're here illegally. Because that may not be the case at all. They may be in an immigration case where they're trying to be in this country legally.
And it's not really our job to figure that out.
No, it's not. But we want to make sure that we, take discretion with the job to help our signers, help our customers, and do our job at the same time. But we have to be very, very careful with that question: are you here legally? Or she's not here legally, or he's not here legally. We can't be the bearer of that news. We just have to ask, what IDs do you have? Okay, that's not acceptable for this. What's the next option that we have? And I will tell you, you will catch more customers being able to say, okay, listen, they just don't have an acceptable ID for this version. Here's what we can do. And that will bode well for anyone over a long period of time.
Yeah. Always look for that solution, right? Okay. Oh, another Ron question. Miss Amy. What should a notary from California know about Ron?
Well, I'm going to make this more general. If you are interested in doing Ron, no matter what state you're in, you need to learn how it works. What type of ID verification does your state allow? How does ID verification work in that process flow? Learn the technology even before you even try to get your commission. So once you are able to get commissioned in your state, or once you decide to do it, you'll already have that validation of knowledge. So you're not learning something new, and you're just going to move forward, and it won't be so challenging. So learn what KVA is, learn what ID credential analysis is. In California, they'll be able to do biometric verification. So learn what facial recognition is. What are the pluses? What are the minuses? How are you going to be able to target your clients to be successful as an online notary once it rolls out? Now, until you're ready to roll out, or until you get Ron in your state, you can also become a Ron facilitator. So there's no need to wait. Like, this question's for California, which they anticipate rolling out in 2030. That's 5 years from now. And 5 years from now, you're going to be on the back road of Ron industry. If you don't get in it now as a facilitator, you're going to miss out on a lot of potential clients. So check it out, learn it, and even if you don't do it, have a team of notaries that you can fall back on and say, I've got a team of assistants that will definitely help you, and work it like a signing service.
I love that, Amy. And I have to tell you, I'm going to say both sides of the fence, okay? In California, they are much more stringent on Ron laws, which is why that they put it off. And it is always best to have a notary from your state, whether you're Ron or not, facilitate your documents. That is just fact, because you are more protected by your state laws when a notary from that state does it. But due to interstate laws, a notary from Virginia can notarize a document. And if you're traveling, you're not in your state, although you may be a resident of your state. There are many solutions. And one of the things I want to say is we're all learning still about Ron. Okay. And Amy's a pioneer of Ron because she owns a platform, Cyberize It, that facilitates. I use her company a lot. I now use her notaries a lot from the platform, and of course, Notary Stars that are on different platforms. But when it comes to California notaries, one of the things I want to say is be careful who you partner with. Notarize and other companies offer a kind of like an affiliate program. And when you do that, you are selling your customer to them for $1 or $3. And I didn't know this, and I actually have stopped telling my marketing students to do this, because what happens is they create an account. So you want to partner with notaries who are not going to steal your customers and create an account for them. You may want some kind of agreement that, you know, hey, if it's in person, you'll make sure that they use me when they're in my local area, that sort of thing. You got to be careful who you're sending business to. But for instance, I was doing the Notarize platform referral program, and this is true. They have to go there and create an account, and then they're able to be remarketed to. And that's just business. So be careful who you make your partnerships with. Same thing with SnapDocs. If you ever enter your customer information in on there for their free accounting software, remember there's nothing for free in this world ever. Not even at Notary Stars. There's nothing that I do for free. When I gave a template away this year, I got something out of it. I got more students who wanted to market, and I got more revenue for the company. There is nothing for free in this world. And if you have to say, if this sounds too good to be true, I'm going to make it $3, everyone. Be careful, because you're selling your customer for $3. So affiliate programs can be good or bad. You got to be careful. So I just wanted to chime in on that as well. So thank you, Amy, for that. And thank you for letting me chime in on it. I know we've only got 15 minutes left, but we got a few questions to go.
Thank you, Miss Amy. Thank you, Mr. Ronnie, for the tag in. This is from Affy, and she's been waiting since the 10th of February for this answer, and she's still here. Says, what are the implications of this situation? Elements required in a notarial certificate are missing, but the signing service either doesn't know the state notary laws, or the notary, which I suspect was the case in the documents that I saw, or they just didn't catch it. I did a split signing and noticed the other notary was missing 2 out of the 7 required elements, in addition to the fact that they didn't sign their names as it appears on their stamp, which is required in Virginia. I've been wondering when this might become a problem in the transaction. So I have more questions about this transaction, Affy, but really the bottom line is that you can't do anything about it. Other than notifying your hiring party that you were the second notary in a split signing. You notice the first notary neglected these items, and they might want to revisit that. You're not going to tell them, oh, she did wrong, she's got to go back and fix this. They don't want to hear that. Just tell them you noticed, and they might want to revisit that situation. There's nothing you can do about it. It may prevent the loan from closing, and they'll have to deal with the first notary on that, but it's not going to reflect badly on you at all. You might have to be, I was going to say you might have to re-sign, but chances are you won't. It'll be her that she's going to just have to fix her certificates. And if that requires her to go back out and grab more signatures, then that's a her issue or a him issue, right? All right, you're safe. Nothing, you don't have to worry. All righty, what else do we have here? Another mid-February question. Savannah C. for Mr. Ronnie says, I saw a notary comment in the Notary Stars Facebook group, or one of my other groups, that they started getting more business when they started adding their own signings to SnapDocs, that they didn't get through that site. I was wondering if anyone else can confirm this or explain the pros or cons of doing it.
Miss Beth, I'm gonna have to tell you that is just, if somebody posted that, it is honestly a fluke. It's not, because they don't count the order count when you input it into the system as an outside. It only counts what you do on SnapDocs. So you can't import your orders and then get counted for having more signings than signing SnapDocs. And here's why: because I could go in and just create 1,000 fake orders and just say I have 1,000. They want to see those. The order count comes from what you get from SnapDocs, so it's not a matter of the order count. When you put your information into SnapDocs, you are giving them your client's direct information for them to remarket to them. They can say that they don't, but you are giving it to them. And I'm sure if you look at their user agreement, they own that information that you enter into the site. And somebody could correct me if that's wrong. I'm just saying, there's a reason that we say nothing is for free. So just be careful entering your information into there. When I used their free accounting software as a newer notary, I caught on to this very quickly because one of my clients wrote me and said, "Oh, you just sent me an invitation saying join SnapDocs and start sending you signings that way." And I was like, "No, I didn't." And I immediately started entering everybody in by call letters and not putting in the escrow officer's email address or any of that stuff. I used the free accounting software until I went to Notary Assist, which was my personal one, until I went to QuickBooks as a signing service. But I never entered in any information for my clients ever again. They weren't counting the order count. I thought they were at the time, but they weren't. I was just so busy I couldn't keep track of it. Good problem to have. But you won't see your order count go up by doing that, so that it's not attracting new customers. And then in the turnabout, they're now able to market to your direct customers should they find any in there. So be very, very careful with using that. Sometimes things sound so good to be true. We want to be very careful about it. That's my answer. Miss Beth, you're on mute. Miss Beth, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Good point. Thanks for your input. I was looking up something else here. This is for Kirsten. It says, when we return one of the 3 right to rescind documents, what if they're not back to back, but spread out throughout the package? Do we still only return just one and leave the other 2 with the signers? What do you think?
Well, yeah, we need to make sure, I was making sure I was off mute. We need to make sure that we are following that rule that we send, that the signer completes all 3 and they keep 2 and we send 1 back with the package. And we need to make sure if the right to cancel is spread out throughout the package, double check and make sure that they are the same document. Make sure that the dates are correct on there on each one, that they match up. Yeah. So yeah, you're still sending that 1 back regardless if it's spread throughout. So
yeah, so if they're all identical, then we're really, the fact that it's going to be an unusual situation that they're spread throughout the package. I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah, I can't think that I've ever seen it, but as long as they're all identical, you're still having them sign all 3 of them. They're just keeping 2 out of the 3. You're only required to send 1 back. Okay. Righty. Thank you, Miss Kirsten.
Miss Beth, I just need to say this before we go to the last question. I've marked one out that I'll cover in my marketing course because I think they're in there. I just want to say this. I did put a hand down in the gallery. I think there was Naomi. Naomi, if you will send us an email with your question tonight. I did ask the staff to stay over, but it won't be in vain for everybody that stayed with us. So we got one more question to answer, I think, on the list here, Miss Beth. If we can get that one done, I'm going to do something that I never do. Well, I do all the time, but I haven't done it in a while. Let's get this last question out of the way, and my staff will be in that 30-minute window that I asked you to stay over. You'll all get gift cards tonight because I got a new way of sending them. It's amazing. You get it instantly on your phone. And so will someone tonight. So for everybody that stayed with us, all 116 that are still here for tonight, 21 minutes after, as soon as we're done this, we're going to do a little game, and I'm going to give somebody else $150 for staying over tonight.
Perfect. So listen, there was something in the chat I want to address really quickly because we just talked about those RTCs. It was mentioned that also remind them that there are extra right to cancels in their package. You need to know that those extra copies, I use those to pull them out and make up the 3 that I need for them to sign very often, because sometimes we only have 1 in our original PDF, right? Sometimes we have 2 and we still need a 3rd one. Those unsigned ones in their copy package, you should be utilizing, pulling out to make up those 3 copies that they need to sign. If it's unsigned in their copy package, it's a zero-sum game. It doesn't help them at all. If that document is not signed in their copy package, they cannot use it. If they decide to cancel and they sign on the I wish to cancel line and send it back, and it doesn't have that original signature there, lender's not going to take it. So you need to know those 2 copies that they keep must also be signed. Okay, very cool. Moving along. Last question, here it is. And this is for Ronnie, you get to close us out tonight, Mr. Ronnie. Oh, and Amy's got our outro. If you can explain, please, the steps you need to take when someone doesn't pay you, how to report them. I asked this question to Ron, and he sent me, Ronnie, and he sent me the link by email, and I tried, but I can't do it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
So, Kirsten, if you can post in the chat, I'll take my time answering this. I've written several articles, and I've done, if you just Google Notary Stars slow to pay or no pay, there's one article for you. There's another article that I recently wrote on what you can legally do and what you legally can't do when you're collecting funds. Those 2 articles are not going to change. There is a legal way to collect money, and there's a illegal way to collect money. There's a lot of bad trained notaries and business owners out there that love to go bark on Notary Cafe, which is just an open forum that you pay $7.95, the price of a cup of coffee, and then you can get advice, and there's no one policing it, and they don't give a crap who posts what on there. And it's bad advice for notaries, to be honest. I'd love for Notary Cafe to come on here and let me go round around with them in a debate on why they think that these forums are a good place for notary education. They're going to get a notary sued if they haven't already when it comes to how to collect. So I've written 2 articles, and I think Kirsten posted them in the chat. Kirsten, did you get both of them in there? Slow to pay. I see the slow to pay. Did you find the most recent one?
I'm trying to get it.
Okay, it'll be on the most recent blogs. If you go into our Facebook group, I've posted it. There is a legal way you can collect money and steps that you can take. But other than that, there's not much more you can do. Like there's a legal way and a not a legal way that can actually get you sued for trying to collect the money. And you want to make sure that you read those articles. But before you read the article on the legal or illegal way to collect funds, you probably want to learn, are they slow to pay or are they no pay? Okay, and I wrote a blog article on that. So there's a progression. And I have to say, guys, we work in a niche industry. If you think you're going to come in today and just change everything over how people have been doing it for 2 decades now for mobile notaries, it's not going to change overnight. You can be a voice in the community. You can give your opinion in a professional light. We can work together and we can change how things are done. Or we can just all keep bumping our heads together on Notary Cafe for $7.95 a month, getting bad education. Those 2 articles will tell you, and Kirsten just posted the second one. I'll try to remember to post this with the replay, but if we don't get it posted with the replay, go to our blogs and you'll find it. Just type in bad signing services who don't pay. And the other one, you can Google it too, just Notary Stars, bad signing services who don't pay. And the other one is Notary Stars, slow to pay or no pay. Those are free articles for the entire notary community. And I think one of them actually comes with a video. So I'd love to help you, but it's more than a 4-minute conversation. And in the next 4 minutes, we got to win something for the final people that are here tonight. And the team's getting something. So I offered the team, if they stayed with me, another 30 minutes, $150 each. I'd like to give somebody in the audience $150 as well. So
We love games.
we love games, and then Amy's going to take us home. I'm going to write this down so that we know, and I need everybody to participate properly, okay? I'm going to write down a number. And we are going to make sure, I just wrote it wrong, so you hear me scratching it out. I'm writing down a number between 1 and 100. Don't you start typing in that chat yet. It doesn't count. You wait until I say you to go. I am waiting on a number between 1 and 100, and we're going to wait until somebody actually gets the number. Okay?
One
And
entry only.
one entry, well, no, they can enter multiple times, but they got to get the number.
Oh, they're going to just sit here and start typing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm seeing them go already. They're not following directions, but
Oh, we didn't say go, y'all.
no. Well, they're already going, so nobody's hit it yet.
Ronnie, when you're ready, I've got keywords here that I can enter into the chat.
Oh my God, I've never seen this chat going like this before. I don't think anybody's hit it yet.
153 new messages is what my site is saying.
Yep.
Okay, guys, if you can just stop.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it slow down. So for my team, I wish there was like a show a peak. We need to like, I see somebody who got close, but I need the one number.
Well, someone sent one direct to me, so that's a problem.
Hold on,
You're not gonna see that.
hold on. I got this. If everybody would just calm down for a second. I'm going through the numbers. We just need to see.
Stop adding. Do you want them to stop adding?
Yeah, I want them to stop adding. So everybody, I'm going to turn off the chat actually, because we need to. So nobody can chat anymore. So my team, I wish I could tell you. Oh, I can text you guys. So I'm going to text you guys what we're looking for, and you tell me if we have it yet. I got to do this to like 3 people. Okay.
Make a group chat.
I know, we should do that. All right. We're almost there. I sent it to Amy. Is Manuel still here? We're looking for that number.
It was at the top of the list.
Is it? No, it was not. Did you say?
No, I said I've got to go to the top of the list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta go. I see one person who's really close to it. Oh,
I didn't get your group text, so.
Hey, Ronnie, I didn't get it either. Did you do it to my new phone number?
yeah.
Okay.
Beth, it just might not have gotten to you because I've got you on speed dial for like everything in my life. I've seen 2 people have gotten close, but I'm just going back to make sure.
Yeah, there are some close ones.
There's some close ones, but no one's gotten it
Oh.
yet.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Okay.
People are just dancing around it.
We gotta do it one more time, guys. I'm gonna turn on the chat. Give me a second.
Wait. I got one. I got it.
You do.
Yep.
Wait. Before we say it, because I've learned this lesson. You tell me if we got it. You chat it to me privately. Who it was.
You want me to text it to you or chat it to you?
Text it to me.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we got it. I've learned this because I will end up giving gift cards to like 20 people.
Yep.
It's got to be the first person in there that said it.
This is the first person I saw. I sent you a picture.
I'm verifying this. We're verifying it. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just looking to see it. That's the first person because I still haven't seen it. Give me 1 second. I don't think I've gotten to theirs yet. It's got to be the first person, and then I can hold up the sheet of paper.
I haven't seen it either, so give me a second to verify.
Did they send that to you personally, Kirsten? Because
Nope.
I see
Nope.
it. I just haven't gotten to it because I saw their first one.
I mean, I could say
The
it's at
second one. Hold on.
728, but that's like a
Okay,
thousand of you guys.
I'm in the 728s right now.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
It's only like 50 at 728.
Yeah, that's when we did it. I'm almost there. I've got it. I see the picture of it. Okay, there it is. All right, guys. So I'm gonna say it the way I know her name. Alon Daniels, Miss Cookie. This was the number.
Oh my God, Cookie got it.
Hold on, you can't talk so that they can see my screen. Hold on, there we go. It's backwards, but
No,
that's
it's
right. It's right.
okay. For me, it comes up backwards, but it's 71, and Cookie was the first one to put it in. So Cookie, you're getting $150, and I will make sure I give you a gift card that will pay that over the next 150 years. At one, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You'll get it all at once. It'll actually come as a text message. So everybody that got a gift card tonight, I found a new service called Giftja. If you've never heard of it, it is awesome. You can text message someone an Amazon gift card, a gift card. So I'll put it all in. If the team members hold me to the fire of getting it to them today, you're all fired. I'm just kidding. I will make sure that I get everybody there. Alexa, turn on my office. Sorry, it went down because it's telling me it's time to not work anymore. All right, guys. I'm gonna say it my way, and then I'm gonna let Amy take us home. If you are not naked and you are still with us and you're not sleeping right now, please turn on your cameras and let's give our signature wave to each other, to those future notaries. I'm going to go to gallery view so we can see all of your nice faces. Let's get started, Miss Amy. How do you want to send us off tonight?
All right. So every great achievement begins with a little discomfort. Growth doesn't happen by staying where it's safe. It happens when you push past your fear, try new things, and embrace challenges. You've learned, you're prepared, you are capable, you are ready. So let's make it happen.
Yay.
Mhm.
Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.
Bye.